State Director, Kathryn.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here today. Thank you so much to the League of Women Voters Gun Safety Committee and Patty, who we have developed a real bond working on this issue together. But obviously, for an issue that's very difficult, it's always wonderful to have extraordinary partners. So League of Women Voters being one, thank you so much. And also to the Association of Florida Colleges. Mike Brower has also been one of those partners. When this idea was first conceived, I ran into Mike's office and I said, we've got to have a summit, will you partner with us? And he agreed. So this is how movements start. And in states like Georgia, where we unfortunately saw the passing of House Bill 60 last year, better known as the Guns Everywhere bill, there is a growing movement of people just like us who are coming together and who are really frustrated and have had enough of being manipulated by the gun lobby or special interest groups. That we're going to be talking about today are both really bad ideas, and for good reason. Both bills are going to open up 12 university campuses, 65 state college campuses and research centers to concealed and loaded guns carried by anyone with a concealed carry permit anywhere on campus, whether they have adequate training or not. These proposed policies, the very same ones that were introduced last year, will impact over 1 million students, more than 20,000 faculty and administrators, and countless numbers of visitors who come onto our campuses every day, family members, friends, professional associates, national and international visitors, service workers, and vendors. So to give you an idea of the impact of these policies, guns are going to be allowed in student housing. So the question is, where are guns going to be stored? In your sock drawer? Underneath your pillow? Guns in classrooms. What would happen should a gun accidentally discharge during a lecture? This happened in the state of Idaho, where a professor actually had a gun on him, and this was shortly after the law was passed. It accidentally discharged and literally shot him in the foot. How about guns left in backpacks, forgotten on campus somewhere? Let's see, I was at a political science lecture, and then I went to the food hall, and somewhere in there, I don't know where my backpack is, with a gun in it. Or stolen guns. Since there are literally no restrictions contained in both House Bill 4001 or Senate Bill 68, guns would also be allowed into student health centers, including mental health counseling sessions. What about Shands Hospital, which is one of the state's leading teaching hospitals where medical students train as part of their educational curriculum? Will Shands be considered a hospital or a classroom? And what about the campuses that house daycare centers and programs for elementary and high school students? Or faith-based campus organizations who, as a matter of their ideological convictions, feel strongly that guns don't square with their religious beliefs? What about the vast majority of students and faculty and all campus police chiefs and all presidents, student government associations, campus groups who don't want guns on their campus? What about international students who bring different cultural perspectives that enrich campus life and pay full tuition that adds millions of dollars into our state budgets every year? What about prominent faculty researchers and out-of-state students who can and will decide to go elsewhere? Well, this is where I come in. The work the campaign does starts with the premise that campuses are safer without guns, except in the hands of trained law enforcement officers and security experts. And the vast majority of students, faculty, campus administrators, and staff think so too, not only in Florida, not only in Georgia, but in every state across the country. So we're passionate advocates of safe campuses on behalf of the students, faculty, staff, and administrators we serve. And I wanted to ask some students to come up and offer their perspective on why they think these policies are a bad idea. And I'll start with Adam Whitmer. Adam, you want to come up and tell us a little bit about what you think about guns on campus? And I'll let you introduce yourself too.
I like talking about myself. So Kathryn invited me here today because before I was a student at the University of Central Florida, I was in the United States Marine Corps. I was a competition shooter. I've won multiple medals. After that, I was actually a marksmanship instructor, and I taught rifle and pistol shooting to hundreds of people, both genders, and pretty much anybody that you can think of. I've taught how to shoot a gun. And if there's anything I learned, it's that oftentimes the people who think that they know the most know the least. Putting more guns in a situation doesn't help the situation in the slightest. For every gun, it gets worse. And I just have a lot of issue with the training that goes on, or the lack of oversight in the training, I guess I should say. So just coming from my perspective as somebody who, outside of maybe the law enforcement people here, has some of the most experience with weapons in this room, I just think it's a bad idea, and I don't think that they should be on college campuses. We're not there to carry guns. We're not there for that. We're there to learn about each other and learn about as much as we can without having to worry if the person to the right or to the left of us is carrying. So, thank you.
Sort of impressive. So Adam has been training people, a variety of age groups, as he always likes to point out, in guns. Amir, would you like to come up and say a few words? Come on up. Amir is a campus leader who has done incredible work this past session in opposing the bills last year. So.
Good morning. I'm a little sick, so you'll have to excuse me. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, so I won't take up too much of your time. But so obviously we all know that public opinion is against guns on campus, and expert opinion is against guns on campus. So you really wonder where these legislatures think the support is for guns on campus. But just to sort of put it into perspective, in a college campus, for example, when students are living in on-campus housing, those are shared spaces. So, you know, maybe the gun owner is a responsible gun owner and knows about safe storage, but you know, he's sharing a room with another person who maybe has no training and doesn't know what will set off a gun. And there's so many variables. You know, a chemistry building where you have all sorts of chemicals floating around in the air, and just no one likes to think when they're walking through a crowded plaza, if I bump into this person's book bag, is a gun going to go off? You know, at the University of Florida in Charlington Plaza, there's the most foot traffic of any university in the country, I believe. You know, you're running into people all the time. There are too many variables to take into account for responsible gun ownership on campus, and that's really just what it is.